Okay, today we are going to be asking Em to tell us more about the ways that sleep is important when we're managing autoimmunity. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about sleep with Em, and Em is going to be telling us more about why sleep is important and then also maybe some tips and tricks for managing sleep. Take it away, Em.
Thanks, Christine. So sleep is when the body repairs itself, and it's important that people with autoimmune disease especially get enough sleep. So one might argue that with autoimmunity, you would need more and a better quality of sleep than others without autoimmunity because there's more inflammation. There's more that needs to be repaired. And then, Christine, maybe you can chime in on this. Melatonin and serotonin are in the same pathway. So good sleep and good mood can be intimately interconnected. Is there anything else?
Yeah, they can just be interdependent too. And so it's like, if you're sleeping, you're getting great sleep, you're getting that melatonin. Melatonin and serotonin are dependent on one another. And so serotonin, 90% of it is in our guts. So that also is like, how's your gut doing? How's your serotonin? That also influences your sleep and your melatonin. So just knowing that they're interconnected, I think is important.
Thank you. Thank you. So we want to honor that sometimes getting sleep is tough for people who experience chronic pain and other uncomfortable symptoms of their autoimmune disease. And so I want to say that resting is still valuable. While a deep sleep might get us the most repair and the most regeneration and have us feeling the most energized for the next day, even just resting allows our body to do some healing. It's really important to recognize that, I think in the culture we live in, productivity is so highly valued. And so see your body as really productive when you rest, when you're not using your energy for everything else. Your body can use that energy towards repair, knitting tissue, addressing inflammation, moving lymph. So it's still really valuable to rest comfortably. As many pillows as you need to create that nest of comfort where you're not feeling any pain or you've minimized how much pain you're feeling. And allow yourself to rest and ideally sleep if that's possible. One thing that I think is important to talk about is, and again, we recognize that each human's body can be a little different, can have a little different rhythm. So if this doesn't apply to you at all, that's fine. But for a lot of us, if we stay up past a certain point, I think for me, it's around like 11 p.m., I get a second wind. And so I've learned that while I've often felt like a teenager getting away with staying up really late, when I get my second wind, it often takes away from how good I can feel the following day because I'm running on too little sleep. So we talk about being tired and wired. If you stay up too late, often, again, you get that energized feeling, but you're also fatigued and your body still needs this time to regenerate.
It always feels so weird when you're like exhausted, but you can't go to sleep. And
Right.
So I feel like that is that space normally after a certain hour where you were feeling tired, you didn't go to bed when you felt tired, you stayed up longer, and then you go to lay down and you can't sleep. And
Right.
so,
Your brain is spinning, right? And so, again, looking for patterns in your own body to find out when is that for you. Maybe it's not 11 for you, maybe it's midnight, or maybe it's 9. Whatever it is for you, really recognizing that this is a clear signal from your body around when it's ideal for you to have a bedtime. Um, and you can look at adjusting it as needed with, other schedules in your household, but really setting goals that are aimed towards you getting good sleep consistently. Of
What?
course,
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think about napping?
I think napping is good. Um, I've heard different things about 20-minute naps. I've heard about 90-minute naps. I think that some of us, I don't nap very often. I will rest, but I don't tend to nap very often unless I, really didn't sleep the night before, and I really feel that deficit. Um, but that's just me. That's because I feel disoriented when I get up from what usually turns into a long enough nap that half the day is gone. I don't know what day it is anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
can't nap. It's like 3 hours later and I'm totally discombobulated and
right. And you're like, what meal time is
Yeah.
it? It's
Yeah.
still the same
Where
day.
am I? Who am I? I don't know. It's been 3 hours. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're looking at what strategies work for us, what works for you. Know that if part of your strategy to get enough rest or sleep is to nap, there are whole cultures that are framed around having a midday nap, having a siesta.
Siesta, yeah.
If fits well with your body, go ahead, take that nap. And more workplaces are starting to make space for people to nap because they recognize that you'll actually be more productive if you're able to step aside and rest and come back.
That's amazing. Yeah, I definitely have stolen a nap in the past in a corner here or there when I was in school, but there wasn't at that time, there wasn't a designated place for it. So even just recognizing people need to rest, and here we're going to give you a space where you can do that. That's great.
Yeah. It's really, it's again trying to create spaces that are less ableist, that recognize we all have things to offer and we need accommodation. And all humans can need the accommodation of access to a good nap. We also want to acknowledge that pain can disrupt people's sleep. So if you were to take money and invest it somewhere, I feel like a lot of people don't think about buying a really good mattress or a really good pillow. But ideally, we're spending a third of every day in our beds. And so, if you care about how comfortable your couch is or your car is, please consider how comfortable your bed is, how refreshed you wake up. Some people need a very soft bed. Other folks need a very firm bed. Find out what works for you. Find out what works with the sleeping position you tend to fall in most. And go ahead and, you may need a pillow between your knees to kind of maintain the right angle between your hips and your legs. There's other tips and tricks around positioning. But again, looking for the position that has the least pain, finding that place where you feel like you're kind of floating and nothing is upset about it is ideal if it's possible.
If budget is an issue, then there are like mattress toppers that can be pretty inexpensive, egg crate, foam, just a little something on top of a mattress that may be a little out of date could make a huge difference in your sleep and your comfort. So there are some of those budget friendly hacks as well.
Yeah, I love that. I've definitely seen people who, if they have a sagging mattress, they're able to put plywood underneath it to kind of keep it from bowing and bending. And I love your idea around the foam. You can even play with different densities of foam to kind of be like, I want something kind of dense, and then I want something kind of fluffy, and maybe an egg crate. Like you can create the surface that's going to give you the best rest without it being, the Lamborghini of mattresses.
You've given us some great tips already. Are there some more, simple steps that you can think about that would help people to maybe take a little bit of action towards improving their sleep?
Yeah, I kind of alluded to it before, but recognizing when is a good bedtime for you. I often say with autoimmune conditions, give yourself a window of 8 to 10 hours, so that if your sleep is interrupted or if it isn't high quality, you have more time to rest and regenerate. So based on when you need to get up, when you need to be places, the following day, if you have that second wind time that you're looking out for, I'd love for people to generate what is an ideal bedtime for you? Or maybe not ideal. What is a reasonable bedtime?
Start out with
Ideal would be
reasonable,
great.
work your way to ideal.
Some of us are in situations where aiming for reasonable is going to be the place to start. So pick a bedtime and stick with it. Warmth for most of us, maybe not folks with conditions like multiple sclerosis, but warmth for most of us really relaxes our body and helps us get ready for sleep. So taking like an Epsom salt bath, that can be really nice for the musculature, or a warm shower can really help. And then Christine, I know you had a mantra for sleep that I'd love for you to share with folks as well.
I have it memorized because it is the way that I was able to get to sleep many restless nights. So this is courtesy of Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. It has a bunch of affirmations and mantras in it. This just happens to be the one for sleep. So it's, I lovingly release the day and drift into peaceful sleep, knowing that tomorrow will take care of itself. And I just repeat that over and over and over in my brain to kind of scoot out any other concerns or my grocery list or my to-do list or any of the other worries of tomorrow. I love that line, especially knowing that tomorrow will take care of itself. And if you do have that list, maybe you lean over and you jot down a couple of things on a list of piece of paper on your bedside table so that you can leave it. A lot of it is just trying to get some of that out of your brain so that you're not like juggling balls, trying to keep that information retained all night long. So that's my sleep mantra, and I definitely can attest to its efficacy.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we post new content.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook and other social media.